Jason Ross, Chris Rillard. On the final day of our 3-day water fast, we were just talking about that during the break, and we'll see.
Yeah, we're doing it. Almost there.
Little mental clarity though, which means it's a great time to talk to our dear friend. I always say former Sacramento King, but then I always follow it up with always a Sacramento King, also the head coach of our UC Davis Aggies, which you can hear right here on Sactown Sports. Jim Les joining us each and every week. Good morning, Coach. How are you?
Dave, Jason, good morning. How you guys doing?
Great.
Yeah, we're doing good. How about yourself, Coach?
Tell me about this water fast. I'm intrigued.
Look, we're not health experts, but I want to say it started with, I read, I think it was Dana White, the UFC president, was doing videos on how he did a 3-day water fast where it was all water, like a men's 1-a-day supplement each day, and then a mug of bone broth a day. That's the whole fast. And started reading about it more. I think I brought it up, or we started talking about it, and Chris and Jason were like, let's do it. And we decided to all do it together, which happened to start Sunday night. So we're on day 3. Tonight at 7 p.m., depending on which one of us you're talking to, is when we get to break it. And apparently, and I have to say this again,
you don't break it with like a burger or anything.
No. We were just talking about that during the break. Like, they're very big on like break it like with some watermelon or a
dip your toe in.
Yeah, do not go crazy. And I gotta say, for the record, because I say this every time we talk about it, we're not medical experts. Nope. We don't know what we're talking about. We're not suggesting anybody do this. Do not try this at home. Consult your medical doctor and any other legal thing I can think of. But Jim, according to what you read through a lot of different things I won't bore you with, but it's supposed to your body enters ketosis, you're feeding off of your stored fats, it regenerates some cells. Like the health benefits we've read about are pretty amazing. And honestly, I think we all could certainly eat right now, but certainly don't feel as tortured as we thought we would at the beginning of this thing.
Wow, that's great. Congratulations.
Yeah, we'll be
love the self-discipline.
Yes. We're trying, and I know you're trying to do the same with the team. Every year, as you know, marathon, not a sprint. You know that better than anyone. So with our Aggies this year, tough loss to Long Beach State a couple of days ago. You had that Fullerton win since we last spoke. Just seems like you're dealing with a little bit of ups and downs with a nice 4-game win streak in the middle of the year. Your thoughts on the season so far?
Yeah, just, fighting for consistency, game to game, within a game, and, developing a level of consistency on both ends of the floor that puts you in a position to win. The good thing is we've been in games and, given ourselves chances to win, but just have had some breakdowns. And in some areas, we've got some younger guys and some new guys playing in situations that are a little bit different that they have to grow into. Love the challenge of, getting the guys and rallying them and, continuing for them. And I always, talk about the season goes till March. This is a marathon. You mentioned that. And, the teams that continue to get better. So the integrity of our practices is really important in January, even though you're playing games and we're playing a couple games a week. The goal is to walk in the gym and get better every day. And if we continue to do that, good things are going to happen for this group.
Coach, on the floor, as far as in-game situation, what are some of those areas that if you would say, man, if we could tighten some of these things up consistently, you guys will see a few more W's?
Well, one of the areas we've been able to be successful, we're a top 10 public school in the country. So we get pretty smart guys. And so we require them, with scouting reports or defensive schemes to be able to make adjustments or play a certain action or a certain guy a certain way. And that's always given us a leg up in a lot of our games over the years. And so that level of concentration that you have to be able to, know your assignment, know what you're supposed to do, and then do it live when the lights are on and all of a sudden a quick decision has to be made. Those are the areas that, if you're just a little bit behind or you forget or you're just not quite ready, those things can get you beat.
And, just trying to create a parallel, but obviously you keep an eye on the Kings. You watch what they go 6-game losing streak, 7-game winning streak, which snapped yesterday, and coaching change, and all, how quickly things can change in a matter of a couple weeks. As a coach, we've talked about this before. Big part of your job is being a psychologist. And I think that means even more when you're dealing with, I don't want to call them kids, but you're talking about very young individuals. So how much during the course of the season, especially now, like we were talking about, do you have to kind of put some of these kids on the couch and take out your psychologist hat?
Well, that happens almost daily. I try and make sure that, and we call it take the temperature. I want to take everybody's temperature and see where they're at, because sometimes if you're watching either the practice tape or you're watching game tape, you're assuming something and you don't have a bead on maybe what a young person is going through and what they're thinking about. So just constantly getting into, hey, how you doing mentally? How you doing physically? And, let's talk about where you're at. You evaluate your play, and then let's see how we can help you. And I think when I was a younger coach, it was more me delivering a message. And I think as I've done this now for 23 years, I've gotten better at being able to listen to them first, and then tailor my message based on what they're telling me or where they're at or how they're feeling.
Coach, looking at the conference standings, it's such a log jam, and you have a good week, things can redirect. You have a tough week, you obviously tumble down a bit. So what's the importance of this road trip coming up? Cal Poly tomorrow, then followed up by Santa Barbara.
Yeah, it's a good trip to the Central Coast, and a team, Cal Poly, leads the country in pace at which they play. So they put a lot of duress on your transition defense. They shoot upwards of 35 threes a game. so it's kind of a crazy style and pace to get ready for, and so that'll be a challenge. And Santa Barbara is just always really talented, well coached. So it's a big challenge for us to go on this week, but certainly those are two games that we feel like, hey, if we can clean some things up, we can get 2 W's and put ourselves right in the hunt.
So 17 games into the season, I won't ask you to do a whole report card, but I would just straight up, biggest strength, biggest weakness that you've seen on the team so far this season.
Well, the biggest strength is, this team's ability to defend and create turnovers. When we're active and alive, the other day we forced 14 turnovers in the first half against Fullerton, and so that creates some really good offense for us, and it really breaks the spirit of the other team who is struggling to get good shots or struggling to take care of the ball, and we've disrupted everything they want to do on the offensive end, and then the being able to do that half over half and requires that kind of level of energy, and also getting contributions from your bench, because if guys are playing that hard defensively, they're not going to be able to play 35 minutes at that kind of pace. So we have to be able to sustain that level of defensive pressure and be a defensive team that can score versus a team that, and conversely, the other night against Long Beach, we give up 52 in the second half, which is totally unlike us. So that consistency half over half is a key.
Always appreciate anytime we can get with UC Davis head basketball coach Jim Moless, who joins us each and every week on your home of the UC Davis Aggies. You can hear the sweet, sexy sounds of Scott Marsh on every single call. Coach, we appreciate you. Good luck this week. Can't wait to talk to you next week.
Hey, buy a nice, large, cold glass of water on me today. I'm buying lunch, guys.
Yes.
You got it, bro.
It's on you, Coach.
Talk to you soon, Coach. Thank you.
All right, bye.
See you, bye. That's Coach Jim
I'm going
Moless.
to keep his word on that one.
You know what?
He's buying
I'm
one
charging
for
him for this one right now. We'll take a break when we come back. Hey, hour 1 in the books. Kings Rewind. Maybe not the rewind we want, but probably the rewind we need. We'll get to that next.
On the move, got somewhere.